Yo, if your R&B drums feel stiff, today I'm going to be showing you how to make them bounce in FL Studio using swing, note timing, and a little bit of Looperator sauce. So enough of that talking, let's jump straight into it. Okay, so first things first is I started off with the snare. Now, with the snare, it's a tight, short hit, not too roomy, and it's placed like a halftime backbeat, right? So it's doing the job of keeping everything grounded, and the velocities are pretty even, as y'all can see. The velocities are pretty even, so it's solid, consistent, and sits in the right pocket. Now, what I mean by the consistent backbeat is because of clap is not really like a regular one. It has a different pattern, right? Because typically, what people would do would they'll have it on this beat, and then they'll just play it like this, right? They'll have it on second beat and they'll just play it like this. But for me, I had it talking to the kick and the hi hat, right? So I have it on the second beat first, and then it went ahead and it was on the third beat. Now this is how they sound with the kick and the hi hat. Now, what this is a snare and a snap at the same time. I don't know why it took me so long to remember that. Now, next is the hi-hats. For these hi-hats, as y'all can see, I didn't do a regular two-step. And what's important about not doing a regular two-step is adding some groove. And that's exactly what I did. I added some groove by having the hi-hat spaced out and not hitting consistently. And the reason why they're spaced out is because it creates more of a bounce, right? So it's more like a little 2-4 hit burst in a few spots to make it feel bouncy, so it still hits clean. And with these hi-hats, well, with every drum and every this whole pattern is I use the swing knob, and this knob is very important because it pushed everything a little bit off grid, so everything's not hitting on time, right? That's exactly what it do, and it can get a little more complicated meaning, but basically what the swing knob do is it makes everything a little bit off grid. So by off grid, what that means is these little lines that the things are on, they're a little further off, right? They're not on the line exactly. After that, I laid the kick, and these kicks are very spaced out, and I have them talking to the snare and the clap, and they're very spaced out, and this is how they sound. Uh, Like I said before, the kick pattern is very minimal and syncopated, and I'm leaving space so that it can breathe, right? Because as y'all can see, I have different elements within it as well. And I'm placing the kick to answer the snap, right? I'm placing the kick to answer the snap and to support their hi-hats, not to compete with them. Right? It's supporting the hi-hats and it's answering the snap because the snap hits right after. Now, it's more of a pocket kick than a super busy trap pattern. So for the first half, it's more of a steady halftime clap. It don't compete with them, and it has more of a pocket kick instead of a trap pattern, which is hitting a lot more than how it's hitting now. So the next thing I went on to is the next half, which is I added more of a this snare and I took out the hi-hat. It sounded like this. Now with the hi-hat and this right here, the velocities are very important. And the reason why the velocities are very important is, as y'all can see right here, this is layered along with this snap that is in the first pattern. but because this is quiet, it it just emphasizes and support it instead of overpowering it. Now, having the lower velocities make it more of a bouncy feel, so that's why I use them as well, and that's why most of my velocities are changed and lowered. Right, it sounds very different compared to just having it consistently. Now, the next instrument that I have is a open hat, and it's more so of an accent. I just used it more so of an accent, and it sounds good, so I left it in there. Right, as well as I added this sort of breathing chant just to give it more of a bounce, and this is more consistent than the hi-hat, and that's why it sounds more bouncy, and that's why I took out the hi-hat in this half instead of leaving it in. Right, it sounds like this. uh right, bro, that swing knob is very important, bro. That swing knob, if y'all want to make y'all things a little bit bouncy and off grid, then this swing knob, I just put it to like 14%, but y'all can go up to whatever sounds best for y'all. And yeah, now for the next sauce is Looperator. I use Looperator to make it sound different, and this is how it sounds with Looperator. Right? And what Looperator does, it makes it more of a modulated. It gives it the reverb and it hits double, right? And you can play around with these effects, but what I did was I went through presets and I went through all these different presets, and then I found out I like this filter stutter 3 just by going through it, and I left it on. But that's what I did, and this is how it sounds with the melody. Right, it gives it that alien type feel. And the key takeaway y'all can take away from making bouncy beats is not doing a regular pattern. Right, as y'all can see, I don't have a regular kick pattern, a trap kick pattern. And for the hi-hats, I'm not doing a basic two-step. Right, I'm not doing a basic two steps. Sure, y'all can, but if y'all do a basic two step, adding stutters here and there is best. But if y'all want to do this the easy way and just make it bouncy, y'all can do a call to response with the hi-hat, the kick, and the snare. And what I did with the snare and the kick was a call to response type thing, right? So the kick hit, and then that's when the snare responds to the kick. Right, that's when the snap responds to the kick. So that's another reason why I didn't have on the second beat for this part, because if it was on the second beat, it'll sound like this. Right, and that's not bouncy. So when it comes to making bouncy beats, y'all gotta listen to your ears, so you don't end up using the conventional thing just because that's what you use regularly. Right, step out your comfort zone a little bit and try different patterns out with the snares, claps, snaps, whatever you're using. And this is what I came with, so you might come up with something differently. So that's practically all for this. It wasn't too complicated. As for the Looperator, I showed y'all the preset that y'all could potentially use, and don't just copy what I do, but play around with the different presets. That's how y'all gonna find out what sounds good for y'all melody, because every melody or drum is different. But yeah, that's all for this video. I love and I appreciate y'all for watching, and thank you guys for showing up another day, and I'll see you guys Saturday. Will you give my